I'll never forget when I sent the wire, I was like, oh my God, this is real. Of the last 10 years of Curated, and even though we are focused very much primarily on Ferrari supercars and vintage Lamborghini supercars and sort of these wacky supercars, one of the most interesting purchases that we've ever been part of, the Ford Shelby Cobra concept. Now, about a year ago, I got a very intriguing message from a very important collector. We had been talking about building this collection around cars from different video games and cars that were part of this video game generation. And we went down a long list of really cool cars, really important cars, one being the Ford GT90. And he basically put me on assignment to go build a museum type collection of these video game cars. And I started hunting for cars. I reached out to the family that has the Ford GT90. I learned that the car doesn't actually even go that fast. It's limited to a certain amount of mile per hour. I expressed that. And I started chasing all of these wacky cars around the world. And during that time, I started researching a car that was actually sold at Mecum Auctions a few years ago. I think it was like 5-6 years ago. And it was a one-off concept car that was developed by Ford in partnership with Shelby. And many people call it the last Cobra, because it probably is the last Cobra of its kind developed by Shelby in partnership with Ford. And it was this incredible concept car that would basically modernize the original Shelby Cobra concept. Massive engine, small car, lightweight. And this project was called Daisy. And what was so interesting about Daisy is really everything that went into it was unique. It was a Ford GT chassis that was actually turned around, so reversed. All of the body panels were built unique. The motor was actually a one-off engine, believed to be 2 or 3, a V10 engine that was built specific for the project. So as I started to research this car, I just got so intrigued. Beyond that, from a design point of view, the car won many awards. It was on the cover of magazines. There was toy models of it. It was even in an action movie, Triple X State of the Union. So this car had this big presence back in the early 2000s. It was everywhere. The other really cool part about it is many prototypes and these one-offs are not always functional. And what's so interesting about this car is it wasn't just functional, but it was road tested. It was used and it was driven fast. Many times at very high testing grounds and very high speeds. There were stories of 180, 190 miles per hour. So it really intrigued me to go find this car. Now, I started sort of making a list in our sales chat. We have this curated sales chat with the entire team. And I started making a list of all these cars. Does anyone know where this is? Does anyone know where this is? And one of the guys, Gabe from our team, was like, I know exactly where the Shelby Cobra concept is. It's part of this museum collection. I know the owner. I'm going to reach out to him. So within, hours, Gabe reaches out to the guy and he sort of shoos us away. He's like, no, it's not for sale. It'll never be for sale. So over the next few weeks, we start sort of, negotiating with him, talking with him, see if there's any moment to make a deal. And after, I would say, probably about a month of negotiating, he finally agreed to sell us the car. Now, he agreed to sell it on the contingency that he could actually perform some documentary work around it, which obviously we're all for that, historical work. And he wanted to make sure the car was going to the right home. And we expressed to him that we are buying it on behalf of someone putting together a museum, an important collection. And I think you could see his passion, that he felt that was the right thing. We told him the other cars we were looking for. And you felt that the whole transaction was really cool. All I can tell you is, I'll never forget this. We were signing the contract and we were sending the wire. And it's one of those surreal moments in your career where you never imagined, 10 years ago, we'd be buying and selling these one-off cars like this. And I'll never forget when I sent the wire, I was like, oh my God, this is real. The day that it arrived to Curated, it was coming off the truck and the entire team is just taking photos. The car starts up and it just sounds so amazing. I was fortunate enough to be the first person to drive it. I think what was so cool about it was just built so well. As a one-off car, this car felt fast, it felt comfortable, it sounded great, it looked cool, the fit and finish was amazing. It had a ton of patina from its sort of development. You could see a ton of people had sat in the seats and I was like, okay, we're not gonna repair or restore any of this. This is beautiful patina. We immediately brought it inside the showroom and just people from around the world started coming to see it. We did this incredible photo shoot with Zach Brell. We did all these cool things. And I think in our history at Curated, to have a piece like this, you know, a one-off show car from one museum to another, I don't think we'll ever have many opportunities again that match the Shelby Cobra concept.
Long-term viewers of the VINwiki channel will remember that years ago I joined with Sonny the Lamboa to explain that Avalon King's DIY ceramic coatings are not, in fact, snake oil. But now I've got Leo the Lamboa here to talk about Avalon King's latest offer. Their AS9 DIY ceramic coating for a limited time is just $59.99 at the link in the description below. And the first 100 orders will also get their Armor Shield Light Spray. It's a $34.99 value that makes it easier to put on and level out the coating, and it also gives you the same hydrophobic protection in an easier to use, easier to apply, easier to live with on a daily basis spray. So check them out now at the link in the description below to get the best discount we've ever offered on Avalon King products.